Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and with the new EP, The Octagonal Stairway, on the horizon, I felt like it was high time to share 5 other bands for fans of Pig Destroyer. But before I do that, if you like to stay up to date with the best and brightest metal albums and bands from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. I upload new content every single week. Let's get into it. Alright, now in keeping with this grindcore theme too, I'm going to keep these things short, fast, and furious, and we're going to start with SLC's Gouged. I'd also recommend these guys to fans of Vermin Womb. Their self-titled 2017 EP really caught my attention. As I said back then, these guys accomplish a more severe beating in 9 minutes than most can with hours of torment. They don't have time for all of the table strapping and precision tools that would take. They'd much rather find you in a dark alley, hit you over the back of the head with a brick, and repeatedly stomp you into submission. This is classic grindcore spirit through and through, raw production, crusty drums, and eviscerating vocals. It's honestly the most fun you can have while having the pus beaten out of you. Next up, we've got pummeling UK grindcore crew, The Brood, spreading more bitter criticism of society with crusty, high-octane tunes. I'd also recommend these guys for fans of Napalm Death and Raised Fist. And I was really glad that the band reached out to me about their latest album, Democratic Warfare, which came out in 2019. I had long since forgotten how much I enjoyed the simple pleasures of their 2017 effort, The Truth Behind. And this is another one of those situations where, despite my constant quest for all things fresh and innovative, I'm never above enjoying a well-done dose of back-to-basics bloodlust, and that's exactly what this is. The Brood know how to tap directly into that caveman part of the brain via sharp snare tone, depraved snarls, and oddly catchy chord progressions. I especially love that drum and bass break on Minotaur. It makes me feel like Jack Nicholson at the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Furthermore, I wasn't expecting such solid production from this band. While Democratic Warfare sticks to the playbook in delivering a sound that is raw and raucous, they nailed the mix such that every note is a perfectly punctuated nail gun to the skull. This is a sick band dropping some really sick tunes, and the Brood are clearly very passionate and genuine individuals, and it comes across in every facet of the music. Next up, we've got a more recent release with Oregon-based grinding metallic hardcore outfit Foes, tearing you to pieces with their 16-minute EP, American Violence, via Glacier Recordings. I'd also recommend these guys to fans of Rotten Sound and Lockup. And as I've said before, I'm a big fan of brevity in writing, and this is also the case for the music that I listen to. If you can make the same point in 10 minutes as in 45, then don't bother dragging it out. Just stick to the basics here, and Foes most certainly got that same memo, as their latest release wastes none of your time getting down to business. American Violence is an utter rager, absolutely overflowing with its titular savagery. From the pummeling start-stop riffs of Turnaround King to the Every Time I Die and Converge-esque guitars of Devolved Into Humanity to the wretched Pig Destroyer groove of $sign Eyes. Foes always serve up the goods and leave you wanting more. Blast, D-beat, tom and bass, fear-mongering samples. What more could you want? Foes are sick, violent, and perfect for times of civil unrest, so be sure to check them out. Alright, then we've got Massachusetts project Grind of the Dead. This is a band that I've been following for quite a long time now, from the first time they sent me their early album called Pussy Jams, which is a very kind of tongue-in-cheek, goofy kind of album. But then they turned things around and really honed things and focused them for their 2017 album, which is quite optimally titled No Lives Matter. This was a much more concentrated and traditional space for them. It's a wrecking ball wielded by violent ape men. True to grindcore form, songs don't go much longer than a minute or two. This leads to a very focused album that sticks around just as long as it needs to. And within this lean recording are lacerating vocals, ugly distortion, and some pretty killer bass breaks. I love the interplay of the high and low screams, and Grind of the Dead's take on Nine Inch Nails' Somewhat Damaged is surprisingly fun as well. Grind of the Dead is a band that has been stepping up their game very quickly over the years, and I'm excited to hear what comes of their latest album, which I hear will be coming soon. And last but not least, we're going to get a little crazy here, step a little bit outside the box with Zythlia. This is the project of US multi-instrumentalist and vocalist Nick Stranger, also of Ashbringer. He just dropped his album Immortality Through Quantum Suicide, great title, via Voidhanger Records, which you at this point have probably caught in another review roundup or something of that nature. But to recap, this is an insane album. True to its title and cover, one that depicts self-murder through dark levels of space-time distortion, this album really is utter outer dimensional insanity. Zythlia's inhuman nailgun blasts and wickedly compressed guitar tones sound as if they are suffocating every inch of the mix on this record. Chaotic noodling mathcore riffs and genty Meshuggah chugs combine the fierce technicality of Beneath the Massacre with the structural anarchy of Psyopus. The Eye Bath also drew comparisons to Frontier with its pew-pew laser gun sounds. And that's not even to mention the truly unhinged vocals belting pure bile into infinity. Their reckless abandon in particular reminds me of the now defunct The Apex, especially intense when combined with the enthralling D-beats of To Defy Inevitability. This is basically Pig Destroyer on steroids, so don't expect it to sound exactly like them. It's taking that basic idea and pushing it into a completely different direction. But also like Pig Destroyer, this band likes to toy with ambient and dissonant noise as well. In any case, Zythlia is a band you definitely don't want to miss, and their latest album is just 24 minutes of unrelenting technical anarchy that you do not want to miss. And that's it, y'all. 5 bands that fans of Pig Destroyer should definitely check out, and I think you're going to really enjoy all of them. But let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite, and especially if you ended up picking any of them up. Be sure to recommend them to other people as well. Spread the word. That's what this channel is all about. Also, stick around because there's plenty more videos like this one. In addition to other videos in this FFO series, I've also got album roundups, single album reviews, tier lists, the podcast where I get to interview all these interesting musicians. Also in the description, you can find links to all of our social media, the email newsletter, of course, the link to metaltrenches.com, where you can find even more reviews on the site, and our Patreon and Subscribestar, if you want to take that extra leap to becoming a full-on supporter. Would really appreciate it. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.